Hey everybody, it's the Burger Dude, and today I want to show you how I make vegan Alfredo sauce. And today we're going to do it two ways. We're going to do a cashew-based sauce, and then we're also going to do a vegan version of a traditional Alfredo sauce, albeit not totally traditional, as traditional Alfredo is just butter, Parmesan, and pasta water. And this is going to be more like a sauce that you might find at a place like Olive Garden, but we're going to make it vegan and probably way better. I haven't been to an Olive Garden in quite a while, but I'm guessing this is going to be better. So first, let's get our vegan Parmesan, and I do like to use this VO Life here on the right, but the Follow Your Heart's great too. And if you can't find these, but you have some other kinds of vegan Parmesan, go ahead and use those. Whatever you got at your disposal will do. So we're going to start off by making a roux. So let's add some vegan butter to a pan and get it nice and melted. And once it's been melted, we're going to add in some minced garlic. And by infusing some garlic into this roux, it is going to impart a lot of garlic flavor. So just be careful not to add too much garlic. Unless you just love garlic, then, go to town. And after we got the garlic in there, we're going to add in some flour. And I like to add in about a tablespoon at a time and then give it a whisk. And once the flour's all been whisked in, you're going to cook it for about a minute. And then we're going to start adding in some unsweetened plant milk. And again, just add in about, a half a cup at a time. And it's going to be real thick and pretty goopy, for lack of a better word. But just keep going, and eventually it'll get nice and silky smooth once you get all the plant milk in there. There you go, look at that. Silky smooth. I know it's hard to see. There you go. It basically looks like milk now. So let's add in some nooch as well, aka nutritional yeast, and some garlic salt to taste. And you might be asking yourself, you just warned us about adding in too much garlic, and now you're adding in garlic salt. Why don't you just use regular salt? And the answer is, I don't know. I just used garlic salt. Also, go ahead, throw in some black pepper if you like, and give that a whisk. This is going to be a whisk-heavy recipe, as many of my cheese sauces are. And then I do recommend tasting it for seasoning at this point and seeing what it needs. And I decided mine needed a little bit more salt. And there you go. I'm using regular salt, so I don't always use garlic salt, but 90% of the time probably. And then you want to mix this up and give it a taste. And then I realized something is still missing. And then it hit me. It needs a little bit of funk and a little bit of some sourness. So I added in some vinegar. You can also use lemon juice. And then once that's been on the pot and it's at a low boil, go ahead and add in your vegan Parmesan. And again, we're going to whisk this. And I felt like it was a little thick, so I added in some more plant milk. So at this point, if it's too thick, add in more plant milk. Tailor it to whatever kind of texture that you like. And give it another taste. And right here, I was like, this is tasting pretty good. But I wish that I could get it to be a little bit smoother. And so I got my immersion blender and I just gave it a good old blending. This is totally optional, but if you got one of these handy, if you got one of these hand blenders handy, go ahead and use it. It's just going to make stuff a little bit silkier and smoother. And those bubbles will go away, as you saw right there. And there you go. That is the finished Alfredo sauce. I'm just showing you how nice and silky smooth it is there. And go ahead and just give it one final taste just to make sure you like it. And once it's where you like it, remove it from the heat. And now we're going to make our second Alfredo sauce. And this one is cashew based. So let's start off with a cup of cashews. And then we're going to give those cashews a nice hot bath in some boiling water. So just cover them in some boiling water and set them aside for about 10 minutes to get them all nice and soft. And meanwhile, let's get a blender and we're going to fill it up with some vegan butter that we've melted. And then followed by some nooch, of course. And then some garlic cloves. This is basically the same recipe, only we're using cashews instead of the vegan Parmesan. So add some plant milk, some vinegar, and my good buddy, garlic salt, of course. And then last but not least, let's add in our softened cashews. And now we're going to blend this in a high-speed blender. I do recommend a high-speed blender. Otherwise, you might have to strain it through a nut bag or a milk bag or whatever kind of bag you got. And there you go. After it's done bubbling, give it a stir and just look how luscious and just rich and thick that sauce is. Man, that sauce was good. So there you go. That's basically it for both of them. We've got them next to each other there. On the left is the first sauce that we made. It's a little bit thinner than the cashew-based one, but they're both equally delicious. I was tasting them back and forth, and I really can't decide. It's kind of like Sophie's choice. I just love them both equally. But no matter which one you choose to make, you could always do it up classic style with fettuccine Alfredo like this. And look at those noodles. They're just begging you to eat them. And that's exactly what I did. You know, who am I to refuse a bunch of noodles? You know what I mean? You could also make some Alfredo mac and cheese. And I gotta say, this was freaking dynamite. And if you're looking at this, you're going, that's pretty good, but you know, could we do better? The answer is, yeah, we could do a little bit better. We could add some spicy McNuggets to it. And if this video is more than a week old, then go ahead and look for my spicy McNugget video. It'll be my next video coming out next week. However, in the meantime, you can make one of my vegan fried chicken recipes and then top it with this Alfredo mac and cheese. And make sure to give it a nice, healthy, extra dousing of that sauce because we do need our aesthetic drippy drips. We gotta have those. But no matter how you decide to make this sauce, I do think, like me, it's gonna be your new favorite sauce. It is super delicious and super easy. And I hope you're all doing great, and I'll see ya next week.